Oh no! All right. Let's get it going right here, right now. This is TMI. You're listening to episode number 23. Too much information you didn't know by now. My name is Chad. Of course, I'm joined here by the one and only Miss Shelly Martinez.
Thank you.
We got a big one in store this week.
All right, let's see what happens. Glossing it up, getting ready for this TMI.
Well, it's funny, I almost did not hit record as I hit the music, which I have done a handful of times in the past. And man, I'll tell you something. It is not fun to realize that after you've done like 30 minutes plus. And then you go, oh, wait, I didn't hit record. And then you have to try to mimic and remember everything you just did. So.
Been there. What's worse is when you're recording with somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And I'm just like, I had one time that happened to me. We were like you said, it's always about 30 minutes in. And I'm like, oh, let me look at the levels. Cause I was recording to my phone because I had this app that whatever. So I was looking at the levels. I'm like, oh my God, it's not recording. So I just pushed record. We just went through it all. And I didn't bring it up until after the fact. And I felt so stupid, dude. And it's like, what do you do?
Well, a couple of times I've gotten, called out for my inability to realize it. Other times it's, hey, that was just a practice. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's just a practice.
The best is if you're doing like a watch along. And all you got to do is just restart. And again, just hit your same points. Remember what we said here.
Totally.
What you said there. But yeah, if you have a guest there, you just look pretty sheepish. And you got to cover your butt ski because you look, a little silly. But thankfully, that is the first time since we started that I did that. But it was only during the first couple of bars of the theme song that I did catch it. So not going to affect anything here. Business as usual.
I've effed up like that so many times in different degrees that I feel like I've developed kind of like a anxiety about it. Like I'm always constantly, is my mic working? Okay, is this working or whatever? And then it seems like the moment I stop obsessing over it, that's when I mess up. So I'm just like, I guess I just got to be obsessed with it.
I just always check the clock in the corner for StreamYard.
Yeah.
And it says how long you've been recording. And like, I'm almost paranoid where I'm looking at it all the time because I just want to make sure we're still going.
I do the same thing. I do the same. And there's the thing, when I've interviewed people, because I'm like watching them, fixed on them, there's times where my heart will stop. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did hit record, right? And then that's when I'll look. But the sinking feeling I feel, and it's usually when they're in a really good story. So I'm like, oh my gosh, imagine if I'm not getting this right now and I'm an idiot. And so I have this sinking feeling. So shout out to you, StreamYard, for having the little thing there, because that has saved me many a times from freaking out and just realizing, okay, good, I am recording.
You shouted out the old Blog Talk days a couple of weeks ago. I remember too with Blog Talk, you'd add the person in on the old studio interface.
Mhm.
I again would be obsessed with the time, because if somebody told me, they said I only have 25 minutes, 35 minutes. Oh, I'm only good until 7:30 or
right.
I would literally be so paranoid about sticking to their like obligation and their time that I would be like, okay. All right, it's time to go. Let's wrap it up, because I didn't want to take advantage of their time. So I'm married to that clock, wherever it is, in the corner or Blog Talk, wherever.
Yes.
Like, married to it, because I'm so paranoid over the time. So
I get it, dude. I'm right there with you. But hey, it makes us aware, which is good now, because we want to make sure we're on top of our SH these days.
That's right. But we do tend to go along with this show because we don't have a time limit. So it's all good because we riff. We just go about our business.
Our time is now.
Yeah, you went on a WWF The Music Volume 5 listening party last week before?
Excuse
Man,
me,
I
volume
was on
4.
vacation. Oh, Volume 4.
Volume 4.
I was in the Outer Banks. I was enjoying watching your escapades. That's a great album, man. I have that somewhere in this house on CD. That's
I
a great album.
love that album, and here's the thing. I listen to it every time you guys see it on my timeline, that's how often I truly am listening to it. I just love having my little break ski in the day or like at nighttime and listening to it because it takes me back to that time. And it's so crazy to me that because when I listen to it, the reason why I had to share it on Twitter is because like I want to share the energy that it gives me and then it brings other people together and they're like, I love that song. And then it's like this cool interacting thing that happens. And that album, I just remember I knew I was gonna be in WWE one day, and I just knew, and a lot of the people on there, man, when I was watching their stuff, I loved it. I loved what their characters were doing at that time.
Yeah.
I loved everything, all the outside stuff that they were doing. It was such a freaking time that, like, I truly am fanning out, marking the F out when I'm listening to it. That's why when I made a comment where I was like, "The Rock, used to be my hero, but there's, even that don't make me hate this song." And when I'm sitting there and I'm like, "The Rock says," and I'm just like, "Yes, dude." And at the end it's just gonna take his little CD, dust it off, turn it sideways,
Yeah.
candy ass. The Rock says, "Doo, doo, 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 doo." Like it's giving me chills right now. I just love it. And then, oh my gosh, Edges, you think you know me? You don't understand. I sing that song to myself all the time throughout the years from when it was out and it was then to current times. I relate to it. The more older and grizzled I get in life, the more I understand you're lost, scared. You only know what I allow you to know. You're
You're
just
just a puppet.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, you think you know me. Oh, I just love it. So, and then you got the Big Show, and I believe I did talk in the earlier episodes about when I had my little,
Yes.
Camaro, and I was in Hollywood, and he was doing the Chef Boyardee commercial, and I had that CD. I
Yes.
dusted it off, turned it sideways, stuck it in my player, and my friend took the wheel, and I was just like, "Big Show!" And then, "Well" oh, so I go on the journey, brother, sister, like,
That
I
was a
love
good
it.
one. It's a good CD. It also
Oh,
had Jericho is track 1, I
yeah.
believe, and that was my alarm for I think my junior or senior year of high school because I had a CD alarm clock. So I would know it was time to get up for high school because I'd hear the click of the CD player and you'd hear break the wall down. And that would be my wake up call for I was either junior or senior year of high school. I think it was senior year, but it was it was that CD that's scratch to almighty hell underneath. All those WWF CDs. I'll tell you what, for Christmas this past year, I got brought myself a Christmas present, of course. Somebody on eBay had a like bootleg, like perfect master version of WWF The Music Volume 2 on vinyl. Yeah, I'll send you a
Whoa!
picture later. It is awesome. It's on a gold, yellowish vinyl to match the color of the WWF logo.
So
It's
cute.
awesome. And I was like,
Oh,
why couldn't they do this? And why they pick volume 2? They should have done it to volume 3 or 4. Like that's the one to do it to. They
that
probably think
is
I'm not going to get caught because
awesome.
this one's not that great. But oh my gosh, yeah, it was very cool. So I had to get
Which
that.
is the one that had the Kurt Angle song on it?
That I don't remember.
Because I had that one too. All I remember is the Kurt Angle one. I don't know, but I know there were some other good ones on there, but it still wasn't volume 4. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what, and I also have, and this again, like, from my media dynasty collection over here, I also have the WWE's Triple H vinyl that they released with all of Triple H's theme music.
What?
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of that one too.
Please
It's
do.
got this insane like Triple H, and I don't even like Triple H to begin with, but I had to get it because of the music. But it's got his like Blue Blood music on it. It's got DX. It's got King of Kings.
Oh
Time to
my
play the game.
goodness.
But it's vinyl, so I'm like, I gotta get it. So
You know
yeah,
what? He's had
it's
some
very
great,
cool.
like him or not, he's had some great entrance music. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So it doesn't
yes.
even matter. Just like I hate having to admit that that Jericho one is so good. Like it sends me in back into time. It puts me in the pink wrestling ring time machine of mine and just go to that air. I feel it. It's like I get this, you know how they say your senses, when it gets triggered and like whatever that happens. I feel I'm in the moment. The air almost smells the way it did then. I don't know, dude. And I hate because people know I don't like Jericho. Positive vibes, Jericho, like whatever. We all don't like each other. That's fine. We all don't have to like each other. That's fine. So it pains me, but like I look past it because that song, it's like, who cares that it was Jericho's song? That song didn't equal just Jericho to me. It resembles
Right.
this
I mean, it's a
time
good
in my
song.
life,
Yeah, it's
and like being that I'm gonna be a wrestler and like this and that and the other. And now I don't even like the guy, and like it's awesome. That song, way to go to start with the first track
yeah, no,
to set
hey,
the
that's
pace for
smart.
that
Yeah.
album.
Super, super smart. I mean, like they those albums went super duper gold mega platinum. I mean, those were hugely popular because they were very deliberate about what they put on there. I mean, they didn't put all crap on some of those like bigger ones. I mean, it wasn't No Chance in Hell on that one too. I mean,
Yes,
they
yes.
got
Oh my
they
gosh.
got everything on that one. I
No
mean, that one was loaded.
chance.
I mean, like, it's top to bottom. That's probably the biggest one. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people made a lot of money because of that CD. So,
Okay, Kurt Angles was on volume 5,
all
which
right,
is
volume 5. Okay,
volume
I
5.
look at one point I had them all. I'm sure. So, uh, my CD kit. I only have the vinyls over here in this little area next to me. The CDs are in one of those giant Case Logic like zip up
Oh.
things in my DVD closet that I have. I have a whole closet in my basement here that's
That
dedicated
sounds
to
like
my
that's
movies.
something I need to do. That's why I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's something I need to do." Okay, let's see here. Track list. Okay, that on volume 5, you have The Game, which is Triple H, Rowdy with K. Oh yeah, with K Quick, If You Dare with Taz, It Feels Right with Lita, Out of Fire for Kane, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, of course. I've got it all for the one Billy. Oh, I'm an ass man. Dun, dun,
That's well,
volume
that
4.
yeah, that's
Volume
on
4,
four.
but
We'll go through four after four. I mean, you finish five, and
okay.
then we'll go through
And then
four.
What About Me with Raven, Who Am I for China, Metal for Kurt Angle, Bad Man for Rikishi, Shooter for Benoit, Turn It Up for Too Cool, and Pie, co-written by Ricky Waters, The
It's
Rock.
that's
Oh, for Slick
a
Rick.
custom
Oh, for
rock
Slick Rick.
song.
Okay. So that was a good one too. I remember when I would go tanning, I would listen to Kurt Angle's song on repeat. I don't know why. And I remember one time, because you know what, Kurt Angle, I don't talk about this often, but when he was on the Before There Were Stars tape that they had back then,
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
his story I really resonated with because like his dad died and my dad was dead at that point, and like I just saw so much inspiration with him. And I just remember him carrying like his brother, I think it was, and he's walking up and doing like workouts. I was so inspired by Kurt Angle. And I just really embodied that. And when I go tanning, I just da, 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 da. And then one day I heard a dude go, do I hear Kurt Angle's music playing right now? And I was just my whole thing, I would just listen to it nonstop on loop. So it trips me out that, especially in my TNA days, I got to share not only a locker room with him, but I was friends with him at one point. So that's crazy to me and blows my mind because I don't even think no, I did tell him one time how much it meant to me. I don't know if yeah, I'm sure he remembers, but Kurt Angle, there was just something about him that when I was just a fan, knowing that I in my soul that I had to be a wrestler, Kurt Angle and the things that he did, I just looked up to him so much. We've talked about Punk has been my hero. We've talked about The Rock, but so was Kurt Angle. He was my hero. He was my hero.
He's also your Olympic hero too.
Exactly.
All right, I got to go back. It's volume 3. You might want to do a Pandora party with as well.
Let's hear it.
Volume 3 is Undertaker, which is his first like dun 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 dun. It's like his first like guitar theme.
Okay.
Your Edge theme is on there too. Okay. X-Pac, which is an awesome one. Dude Love. Okay. Kane. Great. The Rock again, but this is more like Nation Rock.
Got it.
The Brood, which I mean, everybody like universally loves The Brood.
Oh yeah.
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock, that's right.
The Oddities, so you get a little bit of ICP up in here. DX.
Okay.
Sable. New Age Outlaws. So you can do the whole spiel while you're doing it. Val Venus and then Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Was Val Venus? Was it the Hello Ladies?
Whole thing. So that's pretty good one top to bottom. But your volume 4, I gotta say it could be because it's Jericho, Big Show, No Chance in Hell, Sexual Chocolate.
Sexual.
Okay. Then I defy anybody to not crank up to the max. This is a test when that hits.
Test. This is a test.
Okay. 6, Wreck, Mick Foley. Okay. Then 7 is a Steve Austin song. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
8 is D'Lo Brown, Danger at the Door. 9 is Christian, Blood Brother. Then 10 is I'm an Ass Man.
I like to pick 'em.
Everybody loves the Ass Man.
Yeah. But the dude who sings it.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I almost picture him being the saxophone guy from Lost Boys singing that song. Like, I don't know, dude. I love it. I love Billy Gunn. I think or your Kip, whatever, however you know him, whatever. He's somebody that, as a fan, I always really, really enjoyed. And I really just like, anytime he was on my screen, whatever character it was, I was glued to it. I bought it. Then when I became a wrestler for WWE and TNA and got to know him and be around him more and see how he is backstage, his energy, his vibe, I was like, I love this man. Like, no wonder why it translates the way it does on camera, or he does on camera, because who he is this dude. When I think of him being jacked, tanned, and smiling. Like, that's the life, being jacked, tanned, and smiling, really smiling, like, and he always seemed like he was having a good time. And I don't know, man. And that's why it's crazy, because I know that Nick Nemeth has said in past interviews, like, he would listen to the Ass Man song over and over at the gym and stuff like that. And I really feel, knowing that I know Nick personally, he's like that too. So it's like, it trips me out that, like, 2 ass men's for one,
I mean, it's the ass that brings out the man, not the
it
man that
is.
brings out the ass.
It's true.
After the Ass Man, you have one of my favorites of all time, The Ministry, The Undertaker's Ministry. Scary, very scary. Then you have My Time,
Mhm.
My Time, Your Time, My Time.
My
Th-
time!
Then you have the new version, which is the one that you like, the Edge. They call it the new version, and
Yeah.
then Know Your Role, The Rock. Now, this one only reached 17 on the Billboard charts, where Volume 3 reached number 10.
That's interesting. I wonder why. Huh. I would think it'd be the other way around, no offense.
Right? I was very surprised to see that. So, but wow. I mean, that's like, it's insane.
Dude, there's nothing like hitting that freaking vaporizer bong I have, drinking some freaking wine, relaxing, putting that on full blast in my garage with those freaking awesome speakers I have, and just have a party. That it's a volume 4 party, man. I love it. Or if I end up working out to it, that workout is to a different level when I'm working out to a volume 4. I volume 4 for life.
Uh,
For life.
if you download it digitally, I guess via Apple, you get 2 bonus tracks,
Oh,
which makes 0 sense. You get Today, the Four Horsemen's theme,
okay.
which makes no sense, and you get She Looks Good, Eve Torres's theme.
Eve Torres. Okay, I was gonna stay with the 4 horsemen, maybe because 4 horsemen, 4, volume 4.
Makes no sense.
Eve, no offense, Eve Torres, beautiful girl. No offense, but okay.
That's what you get if you download it digitally,
All
volume
right.
4.
I'll just stick with Pandora. I
That
watched
makes me
the
digitally want to poke my eye out.
I just watched the commercial and then I get to listen to it. There you go. If I really want to listen to it without a commercial, I just go on YouTube.
Wow, this sold 1,130,000 copies in the United States.
It's so good. It's
So
so
that's a lot of ass men.
That's a lot. That's a lot of ass. And one of the things when I was having my party, I was real proud of this one. I don't know if Billy Gunn rolls his eyes at me or not. He probably does, but that's fine. I said there ain't no volume 4 party without some ass. When I shared his song. I wonder what he thinks of me. I know he's pretty good friends with Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. I never met Billy, and I always every time that I was with Kevin, Billy was either not booked on a show or what. I always wanted to meet Billy based off of what Kevin has said about him, just glowingly spoken about him over the years.
And just random thought, positive vibes to you, Kevin. You've just been on my heart a lot. Just saying.
Keven 7 is back.
I seen that. I shared it too, bitch. I shared it because I was like, yes, this needs to happen. This is huge. I love that he's doing that. I love that OVW is doing that. That's the kind of wrestling I signed up for, brother.
That's awesome. All the years he and I like put together Mordecai's return and like all this stuff. Like I've never thought I did tell him not to cut his hair a few years ago, and he did, but that was for real estate. But I never thought Seven should come back. And look at that. That was a great promo that he cut.
I
So he
know,
did a
and he
great job.
looks great. I loved his long hair too, but he looks great. He looks handsome with that short hair too, and he pulls it off. It's like 7 2.0 with vengeance. That's what it's vibing. And I'm just like, yes, I'm here for it. I'm invested.
Keven 7 is back. So okay, I have one major topic I want to talk about today in a little bit. I'm going to bring that up, but I just have to ask you. We'll have our second Shelly's TNA days here in a little bit that we're going to put together. But have you followed the hubbub about the TNA Darkside of the Ring? Have you seen any of it? Have you watched any of the clips? I watched a little bit of the first episode. I know most of the story from all like the shoot interviews and podcasts, so I just didn't really feel the need to watch the whole thing. But I've seen so much talked about it. But have you checked anything out about it this week?
I've been seeing the clip circulate and it's got my attention and I was just telling this to my friend Pam, shout out to Pam, that I am going to have to watch it because even if some of the stuff is like how you're saying, kind of like common knowledge, if you follow the stuff or whatever, follow the people in it, I was so in a different world at that time, as I talked about many times on here. I was butthurt from and brokenhearted from everything with WWE. And then not only that, I was struggling. So I was truly in survival mode at that time. So a lot of things I would hear about were either whispers or I didn't find out about until years later. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, all this stuff was" same thing with WWE, all this stuff was going on, like, right? Like, I had no idea, no idea. Some of the stuff, yeah, but some of the stuff, again, just whispers, not really sure, and some of the stuff, no idea how that was going on. So, I'm looking to see if that will kind of fill in some blanks for me, but what's caught in my attention the most is the Dixie Carter chatter because,
Right.
as I talked about on here before, I hate this about myself, but at the same time, I'm just me and it makes me who I am. So I would guess I wouldn't change it, but it's exhausting. And what that is somebody like with Dixie Carter, I always felt she didn't like me and I didn't understand why. And it bothered me. And so I really should be like, so what? You don't like me and then move on. But for some reason, Dixie, that woman wrestling wound remained for so long to where I'm better with it now for sure, but at the same time, I still wanna know. And, throughout the years, I've talked about it, people will tag her. Of course, she's never gonna say anything. So, I'm looking at it as, I hope this can be a way for me to even if it's just a little thing, like, to the viewer, it didn't mean anything, it might mean a lot to me, actually, to know that information. So, that's why I want to watch it because I feel it could answer some things for me so I can let that stuff go finally and be done with it and not hold on to it anymore. Because I'm gonna tell you, no matter how much I've evolved in not caring about Dixie, it still does affect me. And every time I see her on my feed, one way or another, I get triggered. I don't want that. I want to be able to look at Dixie and just be like, that was a woman I used to work with. Boom. But that doesn't happen. So, I'd really like to get to that place, and I'm almost there, but I've noticed, especially with these clips circulating about her and people, like, giving, like, Bischoff a hard time, saying, like, at one point he kind of was dogging her, but now he seems to be, like, praising her, and so I thought that was interesting too because I thought, what if that's how I'm gonna feel in the sense of maybe at certain times in my life, especially when I worked there, I felt a certain negative way about her. But maybe now if I get more of the facts from like people telling their stories on there, it'll make more sense to me. And then I can appreciate her for what she did do. So I kind of am understanding Bischoff if that's how he feels in that regard. Not like he's trying to backpedal and like kiss ass. Maybe he literally was like, yeah, at that time, this is how I felt and that's how it was. But big picture, she did help or whatever. Cause it's a fact, whether you like her or not. I'm a person that does not like her. And I'm here to say her involvement still did do something positive for that company. It's kind of like when you work hard for something and you finally get it, it's like it's what you do to maintain it is what's important. And I think that what she couldn't do because of her lack of expertise, I guess,
Right.
um, it caught up,
Yeah.
because she couldn't maintain it. So when I'm seeing these things about Bischoff, that's when I'm just like, maybe that's where his head is at. It's like in that kind of sense. And I agree. And so, dude, bring it on. I have to watch
Interesting.
this. I
Yeah,
have
you
to watch
definitely do.
it.
Episode 1 is available to watch on YouTube. You could watch it at any point. Um, but again, like I just feel like a lot of the stuff you're going to be like, I've heard this. I've heard this. Here's one thing I want to bring up. And I'll touch back on something you said afterwards. But Awesome Kong details what the TNA knockouts were paid during the height of the division. Speaking on the season premiere of Dark Side of the Ring, Kong said she asked TNA for a raise while Kurt Angle was earning over $1 million a year, stressing that she had no issue with his pay. Kurt Angle deserved more than $1 million a year, in my opinion. Can you tell me that I'm not worth 1/10 of Kurt Angle? She said. As you break it down, I make less than a manager at McDonald's. Kong said the company did not dispute her numbers. The reply that I got was, we do not dispute any of the points you made. However, we cannot pay you that sum at this time. She added that more than 2 knockouts who held the TNA Knockouts Championship had to moonlight in blue-collar jobs, including one who worked at a bar and who would be recognized by customers. Quote, she would be on TV and the customers would say, isn't that you? And she would say, yes. May I take your order? Do you remember anything of the like? I remember hearing somebody in TNA worked at Sunglass Hut during her time on the roster. I can't remember which member of the roster
Taylor
it
Wilde.
was. Taylor Wilde. That was. I was going to say Madison Rayne, but I couldn't. I couldn't remember who it was.
Well, that's going to my point earlier about survival mode. It was rough because I was not making enough money with just TNA alone. Now, I remember because, Kong and I go way back and we were able to reconnect by working with each other regularly at TNA. And we would talk about these things. We were two broke ass bitches just trying. And we weren't the only ones. And it was rough. And going back to why I quit, to refresh the listeners and viewers out there, I was just struggling. I constantly was getting things shut off in my place I was living at. So it was rough. Like the gas would be shut off a lot. So I had to take cold showers, which I was grateful to be able to take a shower, but it's rough when that shower is cold and there's no temperature. That is rough. It's really, really rough. Just different things, and when I had, because my contract had said that if they renewed me for the next year, because it was for a year, that I would get $100 bump. Now, even though that wasn't much, adding up that $100 bump would be helpful. It'd be better than I was doing. So I got this role for this movie, independent film, and they needed me for like a week. And this was when we were supposed to have in Canada, there was a pay-per-view, and LAX was feuding with Team 3D, and I had asked Terry Taylor via email. I told him, "Look, I got this gig coming up. I need it to pay my rent so I don't get kicked out. Can I just go through a table at the pay-per-view, and then I'll be out for TV so I can go do this movie?" And he pretty much told me no, that he said, "Let's talk about it when you get here," which I thought that's saying no. So then I said, "Look, I'll flake on this gig if you give me my $100 bump now." And I feel like this was like a month or so before I would have gotten it. I feel like it was in September. I could be wrong, but I feel it was in September. My contract was up in October. So he said he couldn't do that. And so that's when I said, well, then I'm gonna have to quit, because I was counting on that money for that film to pay my rent, because I was already getting an eviction notice. So I had to have that money. I had to. And I felt like if I got at least that bump, I could at least go to the landlord and be like, look, I just got a raise, da da da. I had something to work with. But if they weren't going to give me that bump and I went to there anyways, I had nothing to work with. So I panicked.
Right.
And that's why I quit. And it was out of fear. It was out of, what am I going to do? I need, at least this buys me another month to figure it out, is what it was. And so hearing Kong say that, it's like all of us were going through our own stuff at that time. And it was so crazy because one could say, well, TNA it was at its super height just yet. But still, it was doing good. You had people on the roster, like she said, like a Kurt Angle, her making all this money. We're just asking for enough to like live off of. We're not even asking to like, oh, I need this, this, and that. It's like we need, if we're gonna be ride or die for you guys to make you money, can you at least let us live on our off time so that we heal properly? We're not worried about these things. We're able to like get that rest and all this before the next show. But they did, the vibe I got was, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's kind of your problem. That was the vibe.
Yeah, that's cruel. That's messed up.
So to hear, because I saw that post that was circulating about Kong saying that, and it triggered me. I was like, yeah, that was how it was. That was the vibe of sorry to hear that, but that you got to figure it out because it's not our problem. But we need you to be here, okay? Got it? Good. That was the vibe.
See, I mean, and with people romancing now TNA in that era, people aren't romancing the fact that people were not making the money that they probably should have deserved. That $100 probably wasn't going to break the bank at that point, based off of the fact that they were being financed by, a nuclear power plant, essentially. So, I mean, I really think that yeah, they kind of screwed you in that regard. But it wasn't
1000%.
just you. It really wasn't just you. The roster was big. It was an interchangeable environment. So we could take
What
you
makes me
out.
upset though is, and I didn't think about this until recent times, but I was coming right off of WWE TV, so I
Yeah.
don't understand why I couldn't at least gotten $500 a show. Like, at least. Like, I don't understand why, like, here's the thing, and I'm not putting down anyone. It's just they got me after my 90-day complete clause, and here I am. And even though I'm a completely different character, I literally was just on WWE TV, just like some of these dudes were, even though I'm nowhere near the names that they are, but still, they came from there. So you couldn't pay me $500 a show? But you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been
Oh, I
do
think it'd be
so
such a
helpful.
different game now. It would be such a different game now compared to then. Because when we talked about what was it, Bound for Glory? Is that what we watched
Yeah.
the last time?
Mhm.
You were one of the listed, big debuts of the show. I mean, a couple people debut, but you were, here's Shelly Martinez. Like this was an actual like debut of an outside talent from WWE. We don't want to, I don't know if we want to use the phrase jumping ship, but there weren't many people that went from WWE to TNA during that time frame, but you are one of them. So I completely agree with you. But if it was now, that's considered to be a big signing. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Just again, people romancing the way things were then without knowing the full story. This is telling a piece of it. It's looking at it more from the Jeff Jarrett point of view. I mean, I listened to the Darkside Brain Trust on Cornette's podcast talk about it. They had so much to talk about with Jeff. It became a 3-part Jeff Jarrett story. Excuse me. But there's so much more to TNA than just telling the Jeff Jarrett story, in my opinion. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
they hit little pieces here and there, but I mean, like I went to TNA house shows that weren't TNA house shows. They were run by an independent company that just had TNA branding on it. And had they really been true TNA house shows, maybe that would have been a game changer money wise for everybody. But they weren't. They were run by Hermie Sadler, the NASCAR driver, and you would see people on those shows that weren't on TNA, and you'd be like, oh, wow, this is great. I'm seeing TNA action, but a couple of like names that I don't necessarily see on TV. So, I mean, they're not telling the full story, and that's a piece of it. Yes, we're hearing about Kong. Yes, we're hearing, she said, champions, but we're not hearing about the whole roster. And again, here, Shelly's gone now. Okay, now replace Shelly with another female talent that we can put into the Knockouts division.
And here's the thing, I'm curious if Gail Kim and Christy Hemme fall in that category of not getting paid. And they probably did. Like, I'm not trying to be like, "Oh, they probably didn't get that." Like, I guess I never really thought of it. It's like because they too were people who especially like I forget where Gail was. Did she go like, from WWE to TNA or was there a time
She went back and forth. I mean, she
is
went TNA, WWE, WWE, TNA. Like she was back and forth a handful of times, but I'm not sure if she started in TNA and then went to WWE. I don't remember.
well, either way, I'm curious. And they could have very well been the same thing, totally changed out. I have no idea. I just never thought about that until now. I always just think about, you know why? Because I think about the girls who I got tight with at that time. So we would talk about these things. So of course I knew their business. You know what I'm saying? Like they were struggling too and things like that. So I don't know. I was never tight with them to be like, so are you broke too? You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm curious if they were broke ass bitches too, or if they had a different deal, I wonder. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, look, you hear the same couple of names over and over and over again. When you hear the TNA story, you don't hear that there was a lot of people that really put the whole brand together, like from being there, you know, and it's just because it's Darkside and it's good TV. It's they turned it into Cornette and Russo, of course, you know. So there's that little sidebar going on, and you know, they Dixie's not on it, so they're just everybody's burying Dixie, which you know is with due, you know, right. I mean, she deserves it, but she's not there to defend herself. So if she was on it, I'm sure it'd be a different situation as well. I'm sure more people would kiss her ass if she was on it. Um, Apparently too, and then this I found to be kind of odd. I guess Dixie's like never talking about wrestling ever again. Like Dixie's
She's
completely
like, "It never
done.
happened.
Like she's
It
completely
never
done with
happened."
wrestling. And Cornette on the thing that I was listening to said she was treating it like the Real Housewives of Tennessee. And I was like, that is such a great comparison for her.
Oh my goodness. All
So
right.
yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah, it was good. But so check it out so we can talk about it a little bit more.
Totally.
They aired part 1 and 2 on the first night, and then part 3 is coming this week, which my man, he's coming in part 3. The Hulkster's on his way, which
Oh
I
boy.
was all in on the Hulkster in TNA, man. I thought that was amazing because of how bad it was. It's so bad it's good for me. I thought it was amazing, but it is so bad it becomes good. The aces and eights, Hulk Hogan, the change, the 6-sided ring. They bring in all the old faces, the Nasty Boys, you know, the WWE retreads. Like,
What
come
year
on,
was that?
2000. Oh, 2010, I think 2009 or 2010.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
had
I was
I
watching at that
the
time.
night that it debuted. I mean, I had a whole party at my house. We had a bunch of people come over and we watched TNA because man, it was Hogan, Hall, and Nash and X Pac on Impact. Come on, I'm there.
Yeah, that was during the era where I just couldn't watch wrestling still. I went a long time of not watching wrestling unless it was
And
at a show.
and on WWE, that was the night they brought Bret Hart back for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So it was, I mean, it was big, and I can't, was that, yeah, that was head to head. That was Impact moved to Monday nights for a short period of time, and WWE was like, "Oh, we're not afraid of competition. Bring back Bret Hart. We're not afraid. It's Bret Hart's coming back, and he's going
Yeah.
to shake hands with Shawn Michaels in the middle of the ring."
Mhm.
So,
Many.
all right, so she's going to watch that now. All right, now it's time for our main event.
All right.
So I have a question for you, and I'm going to need you to do a little analyzing here. Um, John Cena. Okay. You spent some time around John Cena throughout your career. Okay.
Mhm.
Give me your impression of Cena back then. Like what did you just like his just what did you think of Cena as a performer, as a person? Like what did you think of Cena back then?
I thought he was really nice. Um, I liked Cena, you know? I liked him. Um, it seemed like a lot of people did. Um, I don't know. I don't The only thing I've ever said that was, like, negative about Cena is there was a time where some people had told me that when he saw that people were doing better, in merch, he would, like, put the kibosh on it, and I thought that was real crap because there's enough for everyone. So, other than that, like, my personal experiences with him, my interactions with him, I mean, he was always super cool, um, pretty giving. He would pick up the tab without making it a big deal sometimes when all of us would be out, so I thought that was, like, classy. I don't know, I really don't have, like, a deep opinion about him as far as the wrestling world goes. Tinfoil hat world goes, that's something else, but I
Okay.
like Cena.
I mean, I've always just heard he was just like a real genuine dude and just,
Yeah,
very like personable, very funny.
kinda just like a normal
Yeah.
dude, like, he didn't have this, like, "I'm John Cena, look at me," or did I he just kind of did like, he was normal. He was just, like, this normal dude that just so happens to be super famous.
Okay. He's taken the super famous like persona and he's blown that out of the stratosphere and he's like super duper duper uber famous now. So,
Mhm.
have you like followed his Hollywood track? Like, do you watch any of his movies? Do you are you a fan of his? What do you think of Hollywood Cena?
I don't watch his content. Um,
I mean, you can't you blink and you see him everywhere. I mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, I
he
don't sit there and watch, like, a movie of his
you don't
or
have to really like try to like go out of your way to not see Cena. He's everywhere.
well, hello, I live here freaking in SoCal, in LA area, so you see all the things, and to be honest with you, whenever I see Cena, I just get triggered to, he was always really cool dude, like, whatever, but if what they say is true about the things you gotta do to make it in this town, brother.
Yeah.
That's the part that sucks. But what are you gonna do?
So I mean, like I think he's a very funny actor. The movies he's been in, like he's done a great job. Like up to the last maybe 3 years or so, like the quality has definitely started to dip for sure. There was a movie he did called I think it was Ricky Stenicki. I mean, it was hilarious. That had to be about 2 years ago, maybe. So I'm gonna put it at 2 years ago. He was off the charts hilarious in that. Blockers, he played a dad, like trying to stop his kids from like doing bad things, doing drugs, having sex. Like he was hilarious in that. The move Daddy's Home, the movie, like with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, like unbelievable talent, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that he has been either replaced or he has been neutered or neutralized or something because I now do something that you have taught me, and I do the Parson trick on everybody that I meet. And we are going to do some John Cena investigating here today.
No.
This man, okay, there's something off with this guy now, okay? We're going to check out a little John Cena.
Okay.
It's something about the way he talks. It's something about the way he looks. We're going to watch a couple things. I mean, I might not be accurate with the first one I put up, in your opinion. You might say, oh, there's nothing wrong with this, but we're going to see a couple things. We'll look at some pictures of him. There's just something weird about him now. Okay. And I'll even throw up an appearance of his from a few years ago so we can see a little difference. But we're going to look at some Cena, and you tell me, keep that hat on, because the hat's got some truth and power in it. So, but do you maybe see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Have you had any thought about this prior?
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here's one little clip of Cena.
The biggest hurdle to climb is insurance. And insurance is super pricey. Like every date, the cost goes up, whether it be $500,000, $1.5 million. Like,
because you're in the ring, you could get hurt.
Because you're doing a picture and you're being like, hey, I have Saturday off. That's the thing a lot of folks don't understand. It's like, but you have the weekends off. You can do this. Or like they can shoot Tuesday through Saturday if they want. You can do every Monday. You're right. But the liability of, hey, I'm doing this action movie and then I'm going to go do, albeit choreographed action, but with a high variable that I could get hurt. If I get hurt, I can't come back to shoot. Or like if I get my nose broke or if I get a black eye or something, like we've already captured these moments on camera and now I got to stop down and wait for the thing to heal before I can shoot another frame. So that's something that I had to learn the hard way of, like, my schedule.
Okay. What the hell is that? What is this talking? What is the way he's speaking? These movements of his hands and the no expression in his face? What is up with this? Do you see where I'm going with this so far?
Look.
Does that remind you of the John Cena you knew?
No. Look. One thing we could say that is certain is to be on top of anything, whatever it is, career-wise, takes a lot of sacrifice and going above and beyond things people don't go above and beyond on, because, and that's why people can get success, right? Because they're doing more than the average bear, because whatever. So him and being in the entertainment industry, now he's not just famous in wrestling, a household name in wrestling. He's a household name in Hollywood, much like The Rock, right? And so whatever the price that has been paid for both of those men to get to where they're at, they're wearing it on their person. And it's sad. Especially John Cena, because
weird.
Because going back to, I've talked about episodes ago when I was at UPW, and that's when I first met Cena. And he was about to be Prototype. And so seeing a glimpse of him in that era, and then fast forward when I was on TV and sharing, the same workspace with him and getting to know him better. I don't know. Like, even though there was times you could tell he was beaten down and tired from doing so much then, there was still this life about him. And that video, I don't know if he was tired or something that day we could do the interview. Okay.
That's a great thought. I mean, I thought the same thing, but hang on. I'm going to pull up one of the videos from him about 2000. I'm going to put this about 2007. This is him on Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, check out the energy here.
I think I'm gonna give you this shirt.
Look at this. He's got the smile.
Thank you. That's nice of you. That's
Look at this. He's just like his. You could tell his body language is different.
There's your microphone right there.
Don't get all broke back on me, bro. We all good.
Yeah, this might be our gayest show yet. I have to say.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know, but I mean, look at us. Before we got, I think I'm gonna give you this shirt.
I mean, look at he just all he did was take his shirt off. He had more charisma just from doing that than he did even that whole thing about talking about insurance and whatever. All right, here's the next. Yeah, you said he might be sleepy. All right, let's pull up my second clip. Hold
Maybe.
on. Now, this is from his most recent press tour for this. I mean, this movie looks like such a piece of shit that just debuted on Netflix. I forget the name of it. It looks so bad. I watched the trailer for it. It looks like such a piece of shit. My brother or like it's like something about a brother. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Were you really a limo driver? I read that.
I was. Stretch for 2 days. I did mostly town car stuff.
Were you a taxi driver too?
No, I was not a taxi driver. I was a car service driver and a poor one at that. This is before GPS.
Okay.
I'd grown up in West Newbury and never been outside of West Newbury, so I didn't know where to go.
Do you still do that, or you've made the switch to Uber?
I've often thought that ride sharing is my calling.
I didn't write any questions for you. I just have this piece of ham.
You were a fan of deli meats.
It's old meat.
Aged cold cuts.
Well, it was in here before we got here. Have you ever gotten food poisoning?
Did a fart come out of your duffel bag?
I'm not going to say where that came from.
Sure.
Whose it was.
No problem. You know who Leslie Nielsen is?
I'm very familiar with
Leslie Nielsen is a participant in WWE.
Was he?
Was he? He was great. Loved it. Always traveled with a fart machine.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is this way he's talking now? Why do we talk like this? I don't have inflection with the way I speak.
Maybe he doesn't like the guys that he's talking to. Maybe he doesn't.
That's his
vibe with them.
co-star. That guy's his co-star in the movie.
Oh, Eric
That guy
Andre,
plays.
right?
Yeah, Eric Andre plays his brother. And again, if you look at Eric Andre, and this is what I think is kind of funny. And again, like the movie looks like an absolute piece of shit. Eric Andre's body language, right, is a normal person's body language. He's sitting like a normal person would sit. If I find any other frame where look at him, he's sitting like a normal person, right?
Cute top, by the way.
He looks very fashionable. And then you go to Cena. Look at that. That's so uncomfortable. It looks like he's got a coat hanger in his jacket.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's uncomfortable. Maybe he's uncomfortable in his own skin now. Maybe the toll that has been taking on him for years, maybe he thought going the Hollywood route would help him in ways that like wrestling drained him, but then that's a whole different other entity of surviving in Hollywood, and not only surviving in Hollywood, but becoming one of its biggest stars. So whatever comes with that, maybe he is just at a point where it's like he's just phoning everything in. You know, sometimes I feel when you follow your passion, especially when it's in entertainment, but I guess it could be anything, and then you realize it just kind of isn't what you really thought it was going to be. I feel that's where you can get where people get that kind of broken downness, because it's like, wait a minute, I did all this stuff, I worked hard, or did all these different things that were asked of me to get here. Now I'm here, and this isn't what at all I thought. and now I'm stuck because this is what I got to do now because this is my new um my new normal. This is my new normal now. And tinfoil hat talking, if the stories are true, there's a lot of wear and tear on the soul it takes to be not only successful in Hollywood, but a top name, a household name. So maybe we're just seeing that being worn on his person. And I feel that's the way with a lot of these celebrities. And people are like, what's with them now? Like they look so this and that. And it's like, I feel they can't keep it up all the time. And then with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, maybe he was easier to put on his camera Cena because of where he was in his life at that time. Even though he wasn't the megastar that he is now, on paper, his life was different at that point.
Right.
So that wear and tear on the soul wasn't there yet. So we're just seeing, in my opinion, the product of what this business can do to you, kid. You know?
Right. Well, they always say, in the world of elite and, the underground, there are rituals that you have to endure. Some say for the males, it might be dressing like a woman.
That's
Okay.
the word on the street.
That could be it. Now, I don't know of any of Cena dressing in drag. I can't think of any. But there's another thing that you can pinpoint where Cena may have been pushed into a ritual in front of everyone. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I do, but he did do the drag thing. It was like it
Oh,
was
did he?
that Ricky
Oh, and Ricky
whatever.
Stenicki?
Maybe I think he did.
I don't remember. I mean, like the movie was funny. I don't remember these new
Or
movies are dime
there
a
was
dozen.
something I see it in my head where he was like in a comedy situation. Maybe he was on. Has he ever been on SNL or Mad TV? No, not Mad TV. SNL or something. He did something where I could see him now. He was dressed up like Barbie movie. The Barbie movie, was it the Barbie movie?
He was a merman in
Okay.
Barbie.
All right. No,
He
there
had
was
a brief
something. There was
cameo.
something. But are you getting at when he was naked on stage?
Yes, I am. Okay. This is from, I think, the Academy Awards, which, I mean, I always thought the Academy Awards is a crusty, buttoned up, like, snooty award show, but
Man, he makes me feel like I just gotta go work out right now.
Costumes. They are so important.
But again, it's like, okay, Hulk Hogan, and he was never at this level of an actor as Cena, never had to do anything like that. Austin, even as an actor, never had to do anything like this. So far, I mean, The Rock has, played gay characters. The Rock has done drag. The Rock has done some weird stuff. Rock hasn't done anything that drastic. I know Cena will do anything to make you laugh. But,
Yeah.
that's a little much. Especially, again, like, are we just abandoning the little Cenas with the bandana, the headbands and all that stuff? Are we just forgetting about that? And, that's why I'm going to push. Is this a ritual?
There's information out there, and, whether you believe it out there or not, when you put it on the timeline of things, you can't dispute. It's something to think about because it kind of checks out,
I guess I am now seeing he did dress in drag for the Tonight Show of all shows. So another Hollywood legacy TV show. So again, there's something to be said here, but
something to be said, to say the least.
I have to end this with, your test.
Yeah.
Okay. You give it the Parson test. Cover everything. Look at those eyes.
I know.
Is that the same guy?
Not that I knew. Not that I knew. And I feel like I've seen him on bad days. But that was a long time ago. So I don't know what he's had going on and since then. I don't know what he's got going on now. But the last time we did this, it was on Jelly Roll and Bunny, and now look what's going on. And I said they
Yeah.
look
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Good
like, they look
point.
completely sad. Look at them. They're just so sad. And that's when that was when we really went deep with like talking about doing the Parson trick, because that's why I brought it up. And now look what's going on. And even if not to squash John Cena's party over here, but there's conspiracies out there that Bunny and Jelly Roll are like doing all this just for protecting assets, or like it's a work, like whatever. So let's just say, even though it's a work, it's pretty effing sad that that's your life, that you had to either, whether the divorce is real or the divorce is a work. Either way, those sad eyes that I saw in those pictures, it matches out. So like whatever Cena's got going on, I don't know. There's lots of material out there. If you want to go down those rabbit holes, you can make your own judgment. This is how I feel about things. There's a YouTuber, Peter Mon. Shout out to Peter Mon. And I've watched him for years and years and years and years. And one day I was watching a video of his and he said, I just believe everything just in case. And I kind of adopted that. Not like, oh, like everything is fact, but I look at things as like, yeah, I could see that being true, and when you look at all these things, especially now that things like Hollywood and rituals and things like that are becoming more mainstream talked about, and people are straight up confirming, the actors and talent themselves, the athletes themselves are confirming it. Like, I just think it's good to be open to this could be true. When things are adding up, maybe part of it's true and part of there's some missing pieces, who knows? But what I do know is John Cena has sad, vacant eyes. I don't care if he's tired on this day or he had a fight with his wife or whatever the case may be that can make you have a down frequency. But I don't know. There's no spark. Wherever that spark went, I don't know, but it's not here.
Got enough Botox to knock
Oh,
out a
that's
mule.
okay. He looks. Here's the thing, he still is a handsome guy, but he just is missing that thing. Those women who were screaming, even if he didn't take his shirt off and he was just being flirty with them, they still would have screamed because he had this spark, right? And what was really sad is, I don't know what the details were exactly, but when he first was about to be done with wrestling or whatever, I remember seeing some video clips online circulating where like him and his wife are going somewhere and he's walking and he was kind of like crunched over and just like
Yeah,
whatever.
I saw that too. Yep.
Like, I just think there's a lot of things that Cena has going on, and the result of it is just losing that spark.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his time, that last run he just had. The heel Cena, I really enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't, explosive. It wasn't, what it could have been. I liked it though, but he's just not the same guy. He is way too Hollywoodized, and it's not classic Hollywood. It's not like Hollywood even of the 80s and 90s. This is this new Hollywood that is just like a weird, sick place. But I would love to come and visit you someday.
Yeah, dude, totally come to dirty ass Hollywood.
And I would love to, like, I told you, if I ever came out to explore my my venture into Hollywood, I would be chewed up and spit out within the hour. I would be done. I
told you this town would eat you alive.
Excess. I would fall for every excess and everything. Like, no, and this is a New Yorker here you're talking to. I would fall for. I would every vice, every bad thing. I would be in the hour. I'm there. You pick me up at LAX, I'd be done in an hour.
Well, here's the thing. True. Um, Real quick though, because don't want to forget to circle back to this with Cena. When he was doing that Ricky whatever Sneaky movie, that's when he was doing this thing where he was baiting people with an
Oh, the
OnlyFans account.
OnlyFans, yes.
So you know what I did at that time? This was like right before I was like, okay, I'm just a failed OnlyFans fan. I'm done. I did an experiment, and when I did this for a little bit, and then it was just too much to keep up. Whenever he would make those posts, I would do them on my timeline. So, and they were really funny. Like it'd be like, "Oh, leg scissor," or "See me scissor," or whatever. Which in fetish world it's a fetishy thing. And so it'd just be him, and he'd just be looking at the camera, and he'd get a piece of paper, and then he would just cut it. And then there was one where he was like, I think it was like, watch me get creamed in the face. And there was this effect where it was like flashing like the screen, and then like a pie hit him. I totally did it. I would copy everything he would do, his captions and everything, to see if that would bait people to my OnlyFans.
Did it work?
No.
Hey, you didn't put that failed moniker on there for nothing. Oh, that's a shame.
It's okay.
We'll keep an eye on you, Johnny, and we'll see what happens. So, speaking of Johnny, before we wrap up, I got to tell you about. I texted you about this earlier in the week, and I'm just going to tell you to stand down for right now. But I have gotten through about. It's 2 hours and 43 minutes. I've gotten through about 2 hours and 3 minutes of it so far, maybe about 2 hours and 10 minutes. The Johnny Ace shoot interview, the 2 hours and almost 3 hours shoot interview. I'm not gonna lie, he comes off really good.
I'm telling you, I liked
very
him.
likable.
I liked him.
He's very likable.
I know.
He tells great stories.
I know.
His career is very interesting. And this is his in-ring career that he talks about is very interesting. It's stuff that I never knew before. The whole dynamic with him and Animal, and they had another brother who also wrestled. Never knew the full details. I don't know if they had an agreement on what to not talk about, or if Rob Feinstein's questions were just not the greatest when it came to the talent relations portion. I'm going to think maybe there were things he wasn't allowed to dive into, but wasn't what I was expecting when he got to talent relations. The stuff about his career, super interesting. But the stuff beyond the talent, like after he gets hired by WWE, which is like, all right, this is what I'm here for, was probably the most underwhelming part of the interview.
Of course.
So, yeah. So I was very underwhelmed, but he was very emphatic that his main goal was to care for those trainees under his eye. Like he was very, he said how it was painful for him to have to fire people. It was the worst part of the job. He hated that. And anybody who was there while he was there, he took a very big investment in them. And he didn't really get tough questions asked to him, unfortunately. I wanted him to be like, what do you think of this person? What do you think of this person? What do you think of this person? And that didn't happen. So,
that's why now you know why I always say there's that face, because I liked him. I liked him so much. Now, he never creeped on me, but I liked him, dude. And I just remember I would see some girls that were big names, and they'd always be like chit-chatting with him. And I always thought, this was when I was getting looked at. And that's when I thought, man, I want that kind of relationship with him where like I want to be hired here and I want to be in catering, just sitting there with him and talking with him. And that's what I got. I would sit there and we'd chit chat, and I wouldn't even talk about my character as I've talked about him before. We wouldn't talk about work. We would just talk about things. And I liked him. I liked hearing his stories. I liked him. So that's why it sucks when you know that there's another side. And I'm so grateful that I didn't get exposed to that side. But even when I started working there after a while, you hear things, and girls, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Maybe I felt abandoned by a lot of women in wrestling, but I feel like maybe my purpose partially was to give them a safe space to talk, because a lot of girls would confide in me, and it confused me because they would like spill their guts to me and then kind of kayfabe me otherwise, and that would hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
But I later realized, you know what? I'd rather be the person that, even though I get butthurt over stuff like that people know they can trust with information, and like that can be an ear and like just listen and get kayfabed, than being someone that doesn't get kayfabed, but like people don't look at you as a place that's a safe place for them. And being in wrestling, man, it's hard to find a safe space with people, because I remember people they would know somehow, I don't know, that this girl over here would spill her guts to me about things. And then the boys would get me drunk and then ask me, and then I wouldn't say anything. And then the next day they'd be like, we got you so drunk last night, you still wouldn't tell us, da da da. And I'm like, it's none of your business. So that, when it was in that era of Ariel for me, that's when I started finding out things that were like disappointing about Johnny Ace. And that's when I was like,
Interesting.
oh.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's not going to come on and be like, yeah, I crapped down this girl's head and I did this, and this one I was dogging from behind. Like, he didn't get nothing like that. I have more questions for Shane than I do anything else. Shane and I traded calls yesterday. I got more questions for him than I do anything, because he talked about his Dynamic Dudes days in great detail. I was like ready to like get you the link and get you all signed in to watch it, and then I was like, it's really not even worth your time. Like, there's nothing to write home about. I was so like lackluster feeling afterwards, but again, but just super likable dude, just very charismatic, very engaging, great stories. But on the flip side of that, there's always been the rumors about him in Japan and Giant Baba's wife, Mrs. Baba, having a certain affinity for him. Now all these stories about him, and his nefarious relationships potentially makes a lot of sense. He downplayed it big time.
Of course.
Big time in the interview about what her feelings were towards him. But, he was the only American wrestler riding the bus with the promoter and the promoter's wife, and like the top 2 or 3 Japanese talents in the promotion, just because Mrs. Baba, like the one gaijin blonde-haired, talent. So I don't know, but again, liked it a lot so far.
Interesting.
Got to finish it.
That face.
He loved being on TV. He loved the people power gimmick when he was the figurehead, like 2011-ish. Loved that. But he was very much like, I didn't get involved in anybody else's drama, and I was just there to do my job, and I just did this and that, and blah, blah, blah. He was very short answered on a lot of stuff. Like,
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. These people, see, here's the thing. When even you have someone like a Johnny Ace going on a shoot interview, people like these people at that kind of a level, they're not going to bring things up. They're not going to answer. And it's just not going to happen. They're just there for the paycheck and to maybe make themselves, if they're been in controversy, make kind of smooth things over by highlighting these other areas that aren't that, to distract you from the mess that they made themselves in.
Right. They give you a little nugget maybe, but then, you know, like they're not going to or maybe address a rumor and not give you details. They might
Right.
like say, "Oh yeah, I've heard that," but, you know, blah blah blah.
But that didn't happen. So
Right.
anyways.
Yeah, he said something like, "Oh, I heard what was it?" He's like, "I've heard this over the years." Like, "Oh, one thing I was waiting to hear that didn't get addressed. You know, you picked the wrong, or maybe I didn't hear it yet. I mean, again, I still have a good 30 minutes left. You know, you picked the wrong one-leg wrestler. You picked girls out of the swimsuit catalogs. Like, I was waiting to hear stuff about that, and just that has not come up yet. Or, hey, is it true that, you know, you picked so-and-so out of a swimsuit catalog?
Or how did the thing happen between him and Bella's mom? Like, that's what I want to know.
He said something about, like, you know, I really like, I don't know if it was Cena or Danielson. I can't remember which one it was. I was like, yeah, because you guys were friggin' related technically, and probably sharing Christmas dinner together for a couple of years. Like, come on. Oh no, it was the Bellas. He goes, I really like the Bellas. Like, yeah, they were your friggin' stepkids.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Well, that's all I got, but I will report when I finish it. I just
yes, please
I
do.
to it during the week on my way back and forth to my destination.
Please do.
So, all right, well, that's enough out of me. Unless you got anything else.
No, just go to shellymartinez.net/links for everything. That's all I got.
All right, and at Chad EMB on X, and stay tuned here to the Shelly Martinez YouTube channel for all the videos coming, whether it's TMI or any of Shelly's multiple postings. I mean, she's a content machine. They call Kurt Angle the wrestling machine in TNA, but you are the content machine. That's a good moniker for you.
I'm trying. I feel like I'm not living up to that name just yet, but I'm trying to aspire to be the machine.
Well, from the machine to I don't know, from the machine to the couch, she's headed that way next, I guess, to take a rest. We're out of here for this week here on TMI. For Shelly from Cali, this is your buddy the Chadster. We will catch you on the flip side.